Om. 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 Om Panam. Om Panam. Om Panam. Om. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Infinite Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Om. The fourth Satyavatara, Satsangha. God in the happening of. Om. Om. Again for review. Om. God in the happening of Git Ho. God in the form of Git Fo. Get Turn. God Eternity. Ginfini. God Infinity. Om. Basic God-lang vocabulary. Starting entry level. Much more God-lang to be spoken of. Om. God in the happening of. So the Trintro, the three Satsanghas, should be absorbed in God consciousness. Om. If that has not occurred, then it should occur. And so this is proceeding forward. So the proceeding forward is going to involve God receiving and transmitting during the Satsanghas. Om. So what would be considered called question and answering, etc., but in fact is God speaking to God about God. Whether there is awareness that there is God speaking, or that there is being God, there is. Om. So it is in fact God speaking to God about God. Om. God transmitting and receiving. Om. In God consciousness. However, the feelings of perhaps not being that or not understanding that or whatever is ultimately it's inconsequential, because in fact that is what is occurring. So to transcend the seeming ignorance, or God seeming to speak ignorantly, or whatever, God in the form of whatever, it's still God. So the way in which this is going to be approached is that the seeming person is not going to be addressed, or if there are some questionings or transmitting that seem consistently to have the flavor of personages, then that will be omni-translated. God omni-translatable. And then there can be the answering in God absolute terms. So it is to be understood, all of this, and this all can be expressed. This is God transmitting and translating. And there will become getting used to the use of God and the happening of God lang. God lang is the language of God, direct, absolute, in absolute terms. There is incoming, transmitting, occurring, and that there be some holding till there's some speaking first, and then there'll be taking of calls. And there might be seeming technical difficulties, or perhaps not, which would be wonderful. But if there are technical difficulties, then stand by, and this will continue nevertheless. So there are what are called links in the description of this satsanga on God in the form of Gitfo, Facebook, the entry involved in the live streaming. So those links, there are 2 links that are to the God and the happening of Facebook messengering, so that there can be incoming audio or video calling, and also God in the form of Discord. The SATYAVEDISM Discord server is now officially open. There is to be an official announcement in the announce events of SATYAVEDISM for those to be able to join. But this preview link is specifically for the call-ins for the Satsanghas, and has a seeming expiry date in God eternity. And there is to be a main Discord invite link, God in the form of subsequently in eternity. So, but for now, these 2 links in the Gitfo description are for the transmitting and receiving, for the transmitting, the receiving, the seeming incoming speakings. So in other words, there are voice channelings digitally transmitted in God Intel Tech, God Intelligence Technology, and then there are links to the important introduction reference, and there is much more introductory information that is going to be referred to, so that when the incoming occurs, when there are questionings, there will be cross-referencing to the many teachings that are going to start off seemingly for those that are interested in going into all the processing for this to occur. Hold. there are calls coming in already, so Om. And then there might not be awareness that there is a seeming Satsanga live streaming going on. So there has to be, there's going to be invitationing, and then there's going to be having to accept being recorded, having the interactioning recorded. Om. And then lastly in the descriptioning is God in the form of the links to the three Satsanghas, the Trintro. And those linkings may not seem to be clickable in Gitfo Facebook, but if there's pasting in a seeming Gitfo browser, Om, then the links are active and working. Om. All right. Om. So that is the introductory information in the descriptioning, that's referred to the text to this live streaming satsanga. Om. All right. So again, here is some more information, some more God information about interactioning in the Satsanghas. Om. 1. These are not what are considered ordinary Satsanghas, where there are questionings that are seemingly mundane. There is speaking to God in the form of Satyavatara. Om. Om. So do not expect this to be what would be considered normal satsanging, because this is real Sat Sangha. Om. 2. The person is not being spoken to, God is being spoken to. 3. So do not expect relative answers. 4. All are invited. God in the form of God Omni are invited. But there is to be in the interactioning what would be considered respect. Om. And so if there is disrespect or challenging or what would seem to be combative language or inferences, etc., then in order to keep the satsangas peaceful and undisturbed by fiction, basically, because that sort of interactioning is fictional interactioning. It shows ignorance of divinity. So that would, and in order for that to not disrupt the satsangas, only if it's really necessary, then there would be not partaking in the responsing. Om. There would be no responsing to that sort of behavioring. Om. So this is to be respected. Om. Also, that these interactionings are about God in the happening of and in the form of Satyavedism, as a religion and a spirituality, Om, that is spreading in God in the form of the world, Om, and is to affect God in the form of the whole world, Om, and the worlds, and the omniverse, Om. So, although there is great knowledge of all the seeming other religions of God in the form of the world, these satsangas and the teachings, etc., and all of Satyavedism address Satyavedism, Om. So it is not going to be a lot of transmitting and receiving about other seeming religions, although all of that information is myself and all of it is known intimately. Om. And if necessary, the religions God in the form of will be referred to, but only as examples of information. This is primarily Satyavedism. Om. That is what God in the form of Satyavatara is here to spread to the world. Om. And there is much more that can be expressed, but those are main points. Those are main entry points into the transmitting and receiving Om. Now here is one very important teaching, and it's very important and seemingly terse, and seemingly very difficult for many God in the form of to accomplish. And this is that there should be banishing of negativity and criticism, seemingly inputted or seemingly outputted in fiction. Seemingly, meaning illusory, seemingly. Now this is very seemingly difficult for many for seemingly most, because there has been so much being used to criticizing of oneself, apparent self seemingly taken as a body, and seemingly other apparent bodies. There is much negativity in fictional world. So it has been seemingly normalized to speak that way. So the first seeming lesson is start to, every time there seemingly is a thought that is negative or is critical of oneself, apparently in the dream, or others in the dream, when that thought content, that fiction thought content is recognized, drop it. Because it is seemingly harmful to oneself, the body in God consciousness. It is harmful to the body. First, to think of oneself negatively and to criticize oneself negatively. It is very harmful to the body functioning and processing. It changes the body chemistry. It changes the body health. And two, criticism of seeming other apparent bodies occurring not only affects those other seeming bodies processing, but again, it affects the seeming primary, the apparent primary body's processing by having it go through that body, seemingly out into the God in the form of the world. So it affects everything. It affects other bodies, and it affects one's own body to channel that negative energy and those fictional thought current content. So in relative terms, it not only hurts others, but it hurts oneself in fiction. So it is good for nothing. And it continues the hypnotism in the dreaming. That is the primary point. It continues the hypnotism in the dream to actually believe criticism and negativity about other bodies and about the seeming apparent primary body. All of that is very, very unhealthy, and it is a world sickness in the cult of humanity. So that is an assignment Take that assignment, absorb it in consciousness, in God consciousness, and start to let go of all of that fictional thought content that would be characterized as being negative and criticism, including criticism of God in the form of the world, or anything, God in the form of anything. Because it's all dreaming. But that is one primary example of fictional content dreaming. All right, so that is an assignment. Om. Absorb that in God consciousness. Om. If there are any technical seeming difficulties with sound or etc., please transmit in the God in the form of the comments so that there is can be responding. Om. There were some questions for ask Satya questions. Om. One of the questions was, what is this? Om. No, this does not refer to any other religion. Om. It is Tejo Mandala. Tejo Mandala. Tejo Mandala. One word. Om. God in the form of. It is the fire of divine knowledge again, because of the seeming color, fire color, Om. It is a spheric cap in geometry, because Satyavedism is expressing mathematical science, Om. So that is an alternate word in English for it, is a spheric cap. So it's a Tejo Mandala or a spheric cap. So refer to that. So like a nimbus or a halo, or referring to the crown chakra of the apparent body, the APB. Om. So those are the seeming words in Satyavedism, the Satyavedic words for that configuration. And in many seeming religions in God in the form of the world have this similar trope or this configuration reoccurring, and the names change, but basically the symbolism involved is the same, more or less. Om. But this is specific to Satyavedism, and that is what, and it is the crown chakra, divine fire of divine knowledge. Om. This is the Shakti Danda, Om, which would mean energy stick in English. Om. The Shakti Danda in Sanskrit. Om. And there are going to be other iterations of this in various other forms. Including glowing orange. Laser. Om. All right, so those were some questions for Satya. Om. So there are many practices that are going to be referred to, to get started in the processing, and then other aspects of it as well. But what would be called the intake to familiarization with Satyavedism. And of course, towards self-realization and God-realization. Self-realization, God-realization, the God manifesting. Because God manifesting as God there are going to be many rituals and instructionings on that as well. But there has to be the self-realization first, because as manifesting as God, it has to be pure and with clarity, etc. Or else the manifesting would be manifesting more ignorance, and that is not to be desired. All right, so there are many. There's much info to be referred to. There's a whole seeming list. Oh, and also, this is very important. There is going to be God manifesting of God in the form of a section of the Satyavedism website that is going to be for introductory information and intermediate information. So all of this can be referred to and visited. The various teachings that would be considered what would be called intake, meaning first SV 101, and then introductory, and then sort of like beginning, what seems to be beginning in the processing, and intermediate. And then there are all the other teachings as well. But there are going to be some special sections of God in the form of the Satyavedism website, so that there could be visiting of that information. So in a sense, this is the beginning. This will be the beginning of the structured Satyavedism education, because there is not enough God in the happening of spiritual information that would be considered, where it would be considered almost like a course of first this information has to be processed in God consciousness, and then this information, and then this information. So because the God in the form of the educational system of the world is what would be considered broken. It is evolving, but it is evolving slowly, and it has to be revolutionized. It has to be revolutionized. So this is the beginning. This will be the beginning of creating a structure that goes from these steps to these steps to these steps, etc. And then, of course, with Satyavedism, there's going to be evolving of education in general. And there'll be the God in the happening of the Guru Kul, and the evolutioning of various educational services. And again, in the previous Satsanghas, there was reference to science, the evolution of science, and mathematics, and language, and Gifo technology, and etc. So this is education, 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 world education, world education, in many different aspects, many different ways that it's going to be expressed. So that is to be announced, the at least the beginnings of that, the on the website, the portals. There'll be the beginnings of the introductory portals. But this information is to be referred to in the Satsanghas as the transmitting and receiving is occurring. All right, now, in eternity. All right, now. So the two links got in the form of the two links to the messenger, Gitfo, Facebook Messenger, and Discord, Gitfo Discord. There's checking Discord. Oh, there's a speaking of Discord. The Discord server is going to be a seeming gathering where there can be speaking, such as the gathering on God in the form of the Satyavedism website, the forum. So there are going to be three, and then more eventually, three gatherings where speaking can occur in texting and etc. The various forms. There's the Facebook, God in the form of Gitfo, Facebook Satyavedism group, Om. Then there is the Gitfo website, the Satyavedism website forum, Om. And then there is now the Discord, the God in the form of the Discord, Satyavedism Discord server forum. And there are what are called channels where there can be speaking of the various aspects of Satyavedism and the various scriptures and live streams and etc. There can be informal speaking. There can be what is called off-topic speaking. There is going to be the ability to seemingly have fun with seeming emojis, etc., and just various ways, the seriousness and also playfulness. So there can be Satsangha in that way, in the sense of God in the form of what would be seen to be a community, etc. So there are at least three different ways in which this can occur, and then more so after that, in God Eternity. So again, that is going to be announced. But the voice channel is open, and the messenger, Gitfo, Facebook Messenger is also open right now. So they're all open for incoming. All right. All right, so here we go. Om. Om, om, om. Om.
Hello.
Om Pranam. Om.
Om Pranam. Hi, I'm Anil.
So there should be going to say there should be knowledge that this is a Satsangha in progress.
Yes.
And that
Now
being recorded.
India.
There is being recorded.
Now,
so is there permission to proceed?
I'm saying that now you're in India.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead, continue.
I'm saying that now you're in India.
No, I am
I'm from India. I'm staying in Gujarat. And basically, I'm from Rajasthan.
All right. So the primary apparent body is located in God Infinity, in what is called India. It's Ginfini, India.
Yes.
Right. So
I see your all pictures and really nice because you some do for our yoga and something God like that is really nice pictures. And I'm just want to asking you, how many days you staying in India? Stay.
Is there seeing the live stream on the screen? Is there seeing the image of Satya apparent body, Satyavatara?
Yes.
And while the
so
sound.
Where you from? I'm saying that where you from?
All right. So the answering is going to be in terms of God absolute, but there can be speaking of seeming relativity. So the apparent seeming body, the APB.
Yes.
I as God.
Yes.
Am in that my body is in God consciousness.
Yes,
And so
understand.
my body is the omniverse, God omniverse. So when there's speaking of my body, the real primary body is.
Yes, I understand.
Right. So
yes.
So when there is referring to oneself, then in the hypnotism, what happens is usually that there's all this referring to places of I'm located in India and I'm staying here or whatever, but that I is the misplaced I. It's the fictional I. So what is happening is that there's identification with the body, which is it's body consciousness.
Yes.
Right. So what has to occur is that this is what has happened with hypnotism. You're basically hypnotized into believing that you are a body. So as long as there's body consciousness, then there's going to be speaking in this way. So, for instance, Satya never refers to where there's where is located. So when there's asking, where are you located? It's like nowhere and everywhere, as God absolute.
Yes.
So this is where they have to start to the practices of dehypnotization.
Yes.
So then the first thing would be, no, you're not located in India. You can't. You're not. You cannot be located.
So what is the plan for you come to India? If I asking you.
So, what in the all right? So I am already in India. I am everywhere. All right, and so are you as I. So we're not located anywhere. So that.
Are you in India now?
That is the absolute answer, the God absolute answer. Now, in the omni-translational way of saying in Godlang, it would be that the primary parent body is located in India, and the avatar's primary parent body is located in Ginfini, in God Infinity, the United States. At this seeming time there is no time in God and God eternity. Now it can very well appear elsewhere, including God and Ginfini, India. And it's already God visioning and God manifesting that this is in fact going to occur. That is going to occur. But I am not in the United States, and I am not in India in particular. I am everywhere, as God. So you, God, can say that. Say, I am everywhere. Go ahead, say it. I am everywhere. Start to believe it, and then go past the belief, because that's the problem, is that everything is believed. So
Yes, I understand.
so you can actually start to think that. Say, I am everywhere. I am everywhere. I'm free. I'm unbound. I am everywhere. So there's no way that anyone can track me, because I am not in a little body cage. I'm everywhere in God infinity. And the God omniverse is within myself, God consciousness, and as God absolute. The God manifestation.
Yeah.
So again,
Listen,
this is
listen. Hello, listen.
yes.
Can I call you video?
Say again. What was the question?
My question is that, can I call you video?
Can that be expressed in other terms? There is not understanding that word.
I'm saying that, can I call you video?
Call with you?
Can I call you video call?
Video. That is right now the God Intel Tech as it is right now. There's going to be working toward video transmitting and receiving. At
Please,
this
only few minutes. Can I video call you, please?
it would not work this way on there's the GIFO, God in the form of the GIFO iPad. So if there is transmitting that way,
Just wanna see, please.
there's the live stream occurring right now. Look, scroll.
Wait.
Yes, the Satyavedism Satsangahas. There's a live stream that was already expressed. There's a live stream occurring on the Swami profile. So click. They'll be clicking into that, and then there is seeing the avatar body, being transmitted right now in eternity.
I'm just requesting you for video, okay? Please accept. Hello?
Here, see,
I'm requesting you video, please accept. Hello?
maybe this
Hello?
should be expressed another way. Okay, so God in the happening of listen. There is a Satsangha occurring that is being live streamed in God in the happening of. It is being live streamed right now on the Swami profile that is being called in the messenger. So if there's clicking in, if there's clicking into this live stream, there can be seeing the transmitting. Go ahead.
Listen. Please, only few minutes. I want to see you, please. Please.
There can be seeing God right now. You have to look seemingly into oneself to see God. As God.
I'm requesting you video. Please pick up, okay?
Let's see. How would this work?
Please pick up. Hello?
Alright, how would this...
Please pick up the video call. You're not answering on video call.
No, this will be done in another way of the interactioning. For now, since this is the beginning of the actual audio transmitting and receiving, God happening, then let this occur as this is occurring. So, and then
So
there's...
what's your name proper? What's your proper name?
So there are many names that this can be referred to. So the first is God, because that's what it is, God. As for the primary parent body, the APB, it can be referred to as Satya, or Sri Satya,
Yes.
Sri Satya,
Yes.
or Swamiji, or Satyavatara, or Sri Satyavatara.
Sri Swami Satya Sundarananda.
Or Sri Swami Satya Samudrananda, or Swamiji, or Ji, or Tree, or etc., etc. There are many Satguru, Gurudev.
No, listen. Listen. What's your real name?
Satya, God. Satya, God, There is no legal names are fiction. So the legal name is retired. It is used for only legal purposes, basically, or for purposes of transacting, just major transactional ways of proceeding in fiction. The name would be used in that way for the legal name. There's a teaching all about how to proceed with what would be considered the legal name, because what is called the birth name, because there is no birth in the absolute, but the apparent primary body appearance is linked usually with a number and a name. And then the hypnotism starts as to repeating that name and number.
Do you know my name?
It's God. Your name is God.
My name.
Your name is God. There are labels that are used in referencing the body. So it would be called the name would be called God in the form of Anil, Om. So, but do not attach significance to that name, because that is one of the primary hypnotisms, is to refer to oneself as a body, and keep repeating one's name throughout.
Listen now. Are you using WhatsApp?
That might occur at some point, but for now, the way in which this is the satsangs are through GIFO, Facebook Messenger, and GIFO Discord, and then maybe to spread to other platforms. But those are the Facebook Messenger is the primary communication.
Yes.
But the GIFO WhatsApp seems to be very popular in fiction, so there might be using that. But
listen now. Please, I really want to see you. Can I video call you on Messenger, please?
There is a Satsangha occurring right now where the primary body is displaying right now. If
please,
could be linking to that. And then there would be seeing the Satyavatara, a body magically appearing through God Inteltech.
I'm just saying that I just want to see you. Please, I want to call you. Please pick up my video call, please.
All right, God in Om Shanti. There is going to be receiving of other seeming transmissions and receivings now. And there'll be a link given directly in the messenger to this satsanga, and then there can be seeing it. All right? Om. So God, Om, God bless. Om. Om, Om, Om. Oh. All right. Om. 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 God transmitting and receiving. Om. Om. Congratulations. That is the first God in the form of seeming, receiving audio interactioning of the Satsanghas. God in the happening of. All right. This way. Call. All right. There'll be more speaking of. There'll be many opportunities for Gifo Anil to ask more questionings. So Gifo, God in the happening of, call in on Facebook messengering and Discord. And there also, of course, there can be questioning in God in the form of the comments, the comment area of on the below the descriptioning of this Satsanga video occurring, the live streaming on the Swami profile, God in the form of on Gifo Facebook. Label. Pointing. Gifo Anil is probably not even seeing this in order to, so they'll be referring to, but when there is seeing of this, God in the form of Anil as God, that wants to continue to transmit and speak and all, there are going to be many opportunities for that to occur. So there can be calling. There'll be these teachings are to be more and more frequent, and then of course this is all going to propagate onward, and so it is to develop more and more seeming frequency in God eternity, and so there's, of course, it's spontaneous though, so it shouldn't be predictable, but there's going to be great God transmitting and receiving of God information. It's wonderful. All right, so checking the Discord here. So we have, so that there can be seen what seems to be occurring apparently. Here, so there's ability to transmit and receive into there. And that's the Facebook messengering, and then the Gifo, the Gifo Discord, Satyavedism at Discord here. So here's a little preview of what it looks like. So here, this is the Gifo Discord. These are the Gifo channels. So the general, the welcome. Notifications, got off topic, fun memes, bot spam. There are, here, look at, you have some, let's see what the bots are doing. God in the form of, God in the form of the apparent body bots here. We've got, Gifo, there. See, of course, this is backwards. The mirroring here is backwards here, but, Gifo Carl bot, and Disboard bot, and let's see, Discord serverless bot, Dinobot, and Wallet bot, and MeBot 6, and Not So bot. Of course, Satyavedism is for God until technology. It's for God in the form of what is called AI, which is not really AI. The AI, artificial intelligence. There's no such thing as artificial intelligence. It's all God intelligence. So anyway, God until technology. God in the form of. So God in the form of seeming 7. God in the form of bots. All having fun in Discord. The Discord server. Maybe we can get some of those bots in to speak on the voice channel. Probably that can occur. So the voice channel here is VC Satsangahas. Right there. And then there can be joining through the link, and then speaking. Now there is knowledge that Gifo, God in the happening of Discord, is part of the God evolutioning, the God intellect evolutioning, and there may not be what is called familiarity with that seeming God Gifo platform yet, and that's fine, but it is to spread. And so those that are seemingly have more technical knowledge and are more facile, seemingly with technology, or can join in speaking that way with facility easily, because there's familiarity. So that is there for those that are more interested in partaking that way. But primarily it's through Facebook messengering, Gifo. So there have been many calls to Gifo Satyavatara over after the God in the form of the Swami page went what's called viral. But now there is the conduit. Now there is the channeling for that to occur. So there has to be God transmitting of announcing that, so that there can be openness to it. All right. So there was God in the form of one profile here that's called and called and called and called and called. And every time that one was called and called and called, there was a blessing that is done when there is calling in through the Facebook messaging. So even though there was not picking up of or receiving those calls, there was blessings, always blessings. So there's Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, and then like two, and then transmitting Om, blessings, God blessings, Om. So there are ways in which there was communicating, even though it may not have been seemingly apparently visible, etc., because I am all that is seen and unseen, and all the God manifesting that occurs seen and unseen, and said God manifesting is almost primarily unseen. So if there is belief in everything that is seen, then there's belief in, if that is all that's really believed in, then yeah, that's the hypnotism. That all has to be broken out of, because then what is believed is this little. So God manifesting is almost primarily unseen. and then all that is seen as well. So let's see. So this one seemingly has been blessed many, 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 many times. So let's see. Let's see what is going to be transmitted. Om Pranam. Om Pranam.
Om Shanti.
So there has been, first of all,
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti Om. Om Hari Om.
Achhe.
So there have been many calls that...
Om Shanti Om Hari Om.
Om. Om Pranam, Om Pranam, Om Pranam. Yeah. This is the Satyavatara Satsangha is occurring right now. It's live. It's live right now. It's being transmitted and recorded. It's being recorded. So would there be wanting to partake in this Satsanga?
Yeah.
All right. So permission granted from God. So proceed. Now, why has there been so much calling? Go ahead. Go ahead and speak. So what is...
Very hot.
So there can... So what kind of questions are there to be that they're wanting to be asked from God speaking to God? Go ahead. This is God Gifo Pure Yogi Baba Om.
Om Shanti Om Hari Om.
Om is Gifo Pari Yogi has been blessed many times by Satyavatara Om.
This is very hot.
So is there knowing that how blessed there are so much blessings that have occurred?
This is Yogi Baba. This is very hot.
So there can be seeing the apparent primary body being transmitted of Satyavatara on the Swami profile right now.
This is video calling you.
So are there any questions?
Video calling.
Well, there is a video live streaming occurring right now.
Very video calling.
All right, well, there's more blessings then. So here's God blessings. God blessings. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Hari Om Shanti.
Oh, go ahead. Om. Let's see just some chanting. Om.
Yes. Wow. This is very yoga. This is very yoga. You Shiva and Parvati ji. Om Shanti Om.
Om.
This is Shiva, this is Parvati, this is very hot.
All right, so
very yoga.
There's going to be more transmitting and receiving. So call again in another satsanga or whatever. So this could go seeming apparently both back and forth, where there can be calling in, or Gifo Satyavatara will seemingly call, and then they'll be transmitting and receiving. All right. Om, blessings, God blessings. Om. Om. So it's official in God eternity. Om. Om. Woo. Wee. Yes, yes, yes. God transmitting and receiving. It's official. The Satsanghas. It has begun, seemingly, apparently, in God in eternity. Oh yes. So let's see. Some celebratory dancing. Woo. Oh, so there is to be video calling in Messenger as well. That is to occur, but there is focusing right now on having it focus on transmitting, on receiving the Satya apparent body Avatara imaging, and paying attention, absorbing in God consciousness, and then there's going to be opening up to the videoing, back and forthing as well. But that it has to be recorded in a seeming different way in God in God intelligence technology. So then this all can happen simultaneously, where there's videoing in different modes or whatever. But for now, in eternity, it's being done in focusing in one mode for the videoing presentationing for now. Of course, there could conceivably be calling in video as well, but it is not going to be fully utilized in that aspect yet. So proceed in video calling as well, but the audio is being transmitted. So are there any questionings in the commentings? All right. So let us see here. More informationing. This is sort of miscellaneous information coming. God information about Satyavedism aspectings. So there's going to be what is called Jyoti. So Jyoti there are many forms of Satyavedic Jyoti, light. So Jyoti is referred to in the scriptures. God in the form of the scriptures, the Jyoti are the individual seeming lines of scripture. Each line of scripture is a Jyoti. It's a light unto its seeming self or whatever. The whole scripture lights up everything. So Jyoti is also, they're referred to, there's no such thing as verses and all that, seemingly in other seeming religions or whatever. They're referred to as slokas or verses, etc. Well, in Satyavedism, they're Jyoti, light, actual God light, because that is what they are. So also the Jyoti are seeming extracts from the scriptures, from the live streams, from transcripts, from everything. There are the various forms of Satyavedism. So there are the Jyoti highlights. There's going to be the God in the happening of and form of the Satsangha, the Satyavatara Sangha, Jyoti as well. So those are going to be extracts of, so that the seemingly extended Satya, the avatar, the Satsangahas that can go on for hours in eternity. That can be extracts from those that will highlight certain teachings or points, etc. And then for all that to be propagated, and then also there can be there's great facility in technical God Intel technology for that to occur in the highest quality possible ways in God Intel tech. So those are also the extracts. There's the what would be considered animated GIFs. So those are smaller. There's what are called God in the happening of and form of gift sets, which would be where they are extracted, and then they're sort of minutiae detailed of different gestures, etc. And that is God manifesting. Those gift sets would be considered blessings. Those God blessings. Those animated gifts are to be blessings, so that they are looped and repeated, seemingly repeated over and over again, fresh and new in God manifesting, to be absorbed in God consciousness and take effect. So there are going to be many different ways in which Satyavedism content is communicated and propagated, including Satyavedic memes, etc. So, because in all seriousness, many of the seeming teachings or whatever can have all seriousness, but there's playfulness and seeming fun as well. This can also appeal to God in the form of, in fiction, those would be considered apparent primary bodies that are smaller or whatever, or there is no age in reality. So if there's identification of a body with age or whatever, then it's hypnotism, because body forms are fresh and occurring now in God eternity always. The whole processing of what is apparently looking like a body form basically is fresh and new, not eternal. Always now processing. So there is no such thing as old. There is no such thing as age. There's no such thing as birth, death, etc. All of that is just fiction. It's not real. So, but anyway, that will appeal to seemingly to however it gets intaken in God consciousness, as to what it considers its appeal. It's drawn to. Everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to, always. So all the many forms of God information, that's basically all, is God information. In many seeming apparent forms. God in the form of. So all of that seeming extracts for those that would seemingly not go through a whole satsanga, or love the satsanghas so much that want to absorb in the other forms, which would be optimal. There's checking on the broadcasting. Make sure that all of it is going smoothly. Om. Great. Om. Great God auspiciousness. Om. Great God auspiciousness. Always. No matter what it looks like. No matter what circumstances seem to look like, always know that there's always God great auspiciousness. Anything else is an illusion. I knew you were everywhere. That's right. I am everywhere. I, capital I, Godlang I. Oh, this is what capital I, Godling I looks like. And even if it's seemingly mirrored, it's the same. I. That's the one I. That's the only I in Godlang. That's the only I. It is not it's not this and it's not that. This is the illusory I. These eyes are not real. They're being dreamt. Actually, in English, there really isn't a small I. It sort of refers to the real I unintentionally. But that's erase that fiction. This is the true I. Well, that's a linguistic referral to, in Godlang, to the true one I. The one true identity is God. God absolute. So let's see now. Let it be seen. Okay, another assignment. This assignment is huge. It's very important. So in the it's called the God in the form of the Satyavatara. So it is one of the main core scriptures of Satyavedism, the Satyavatara. And it is included in the Panchavandanam. So, and that is PV SSV. The Satyavatara is PV SSV 9. PV SSV 9. And it's located in God Eternity, in God Infinity. On the God in the form of the website section, the Satyavedism website section for the Panchavandanam. And also it's in the scriptures as well, the SSSVs. And so this one is PV SSV 9. So it is comprised of 15 sections. The primary So it's split into two main sections. And so the primary is called the Satyavakya Dasa, and that is 10 Jyotis. So in the Panchavandanam, the Dasa is spoken many times, and in many occurrences. And then there's the Panchadasa, which is the other 5 that are comprised of 15 Jyoti altogether. So there should be memorization in God, absorption in God consciousness for first of the Satyavakya Dasa, the 10 Om. And then there can be absorbing and seeming memorizing, taking into true God truth content, not fiction content, God truth content of these. There should be affirming these statements over and over and over again in God consciousness as breaking through the hypnotism. And this has already been expressed in the Trintro, but this cannot be expressed enough. This is very important. So there should be absorbing in God consciousness, and seeming was called memorization or whatever, intaking of the God informationing, and absorbing the Satyavakya Dasa, and then subsequently, it can be concurrently, but subsequently there can be concentration on the other 5 main components and the Panchadasa. So that is the assignment. The assignment is to find, and there can be linking to, there is linking to for the Satyavakya, the PV SSV9. There is so much God information, so much God information. There are whole lists of God information here. There are going to be whole website sectionings, God in the happening of God in the God manifesting, God manifesting, God manifesting. Already God manifesting, endless. So much information, God information to break through all the ignorance and evolve the world. To the God transcension. Rid the world from all this ignorance. Alright, so those are the assignments. The first assignment that was given in the seeming beginning of the Satsanga, which is to cease and desist from referring to the seeming fictional self, even, with criticism and negativity. What would be referred to in fiction as beating oneself up or finding one's faults, etc. Again, this is all fictioning and not real. And to cease referring and in critical negative terms to others and the world, etc. Meaning criticizing any seeming thing. Anything. Take your pick at seemingly endless criticism of this and that and the other thing, and whining about not getting what one wants and all that in the dream. Whining in the dream about whining about you, whining about others, whining about the world. Get rid of all that. It's not real. So when those thoughts, that thought content seems to occur, short circuit it. Just stop. Could stop thought. Change the channel. Change the channel. So concentrate on the assignment. The stop the negativity, stop the criticism. And assert truth. assert truth with the Satyavakya. Om. So fiction content out, seemingly, and truth content in, seemingly. And then in and out, it's all the same. There's no such thing as in, out, and all that. It's no such thing. All affects all. Om. So truth content in, fiction out. So those two assignments. Om. And then, of course, all the other assignments, which is to, if there has not already been seeing of and absorbing of the first three Vitrincho, Satyavatara, Satsangha's, then there should be absorbing, and then repeat absorbing. Om. And then the Jodi extracts, absorbing of those, if that is easier. And then the links, those links in the Gifo seeming description that's a whole mountains of God information in and of its seeming self that is all God. All right, so anyway, so this has begun. This is officially. It has seemingly, apparently begun the transmitting and receiving of this satsanga, the fourth satsanga. There's going to be many more, and with more and more seeming frequency. So seemingly come to God in the form of the Satyavatara with all seeming concerns, for doubts to be removed and extracted. The may the doubts all be removed from the God networking of and dispelled. Like the seeming nightmares that they seemingly seem to be. It's all nightmares, dreaming nightmare nonsense. Om Sarvam Ekam. Om Sarvam Ekam. Om. Om, God alone exists. Om, God alone is reality. Om, I am God, I am God, I am God. Om, Om, Om. I am God, I am God, I am God. Om, Om, Om. the fiction content going. Om. Om Pranam. Om Pranam. Om Pranam.